Hi, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our podcast, Sardines on Air. First of all, we want to give a shout out to Andrés Segurado that did us the jingle. Thank you very much. Hope you enjoyed.
So much.
So, today's episode, as you may have seen, is powered by feminism. Yeah, so we have the three girls of the team, Bia, Margarida, and Inês.
Yeah, that was left us all alone again. So
Yeah.
again,
Shame on you, boys.
I was gonna say shout out to them.
It's the same. With the same feeling. So, girls, how are you doing? How's being June?
June has been treating us well, I guess.
I think so.
The weather is being nice. It's sunny in Lisbon, and we have Santos. So
I think
it's
we're
good.
I think we're all going there after recording this.
Yeah,
so-
definitely. I'm going to Graça today, I think. Yeah,
Nice. That's amazing.
I'm very excited. It's amazing in Lisbon.
I honestly have to confess to you one thing is that I've never been to Santos.
Really? Oh
Oh
my
my
god.
God.
I think I'm going this year and
You love feedback. You can next episode we'll ask you for the feedback.
Yeah, you should because it's amazing. It's such a cultural experience. So yeah.
And now talking about the events of ESN, now that the year is almost over, what was your feedback of the year events that you prefer?
Okay, so I've been in ESN for like 6 months, I guess. And my favorite events were let me think. Maybe the Atlas Nights.
I
The
was gonna
Turkish
say that.
Yeah.
You stole my answer.
Yeah, the Turkish Atlas Nights. And let me think more. Okay, go ahead.
I mean, I on the first semester I did the Portuguese style workshop at the Town Museum, and that was really awesome.
For me, I don't know, but I have like this crush on Atlas Night. I love Atlas.
Yeah, it's super fun.
Every Atlas Night. I think some of them are much cooler than the others, but they all have like this amazing vibe, and I think I am a fan of Atlas Night.
I
Yeah.
think we all are.
But I also like Hands for Paws.
You never been?
Me neither, but I have an excuse. I'm allergic to dogs. So that's I don't want to end up in the hospital.
But they're super fun, and I love animals and walking the dogs. It's amazing. I love that.
So talking about ESN, in the previous episode, we talked about the first 2 days, the experience of former Erasmus students, and of course, the major part of our Erasmus experience is because of ESN or started because of ESN. So I wanted to talk to you about your first contact with ESN. What was it like for you girls?
Okay, so I met ESN per se on my first day in Madrid. They were like already there, and they were like, "Okay, join ESN, do the ESN card. It's super important. Come to the integration weekend. All the trips we have planned." And yeah, that was my first contact, and I did the ESN card like on the first day, and I applied, I guess, for the integration weekend like on this first day. So I guess that ESN was present from the beginning for me, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was the same. It was like I knew ESN before going in to Erasmus because one of my friends is a part of ESN Porto. And I was like, okay, so first things first, I'm going to do the ESN cards. And then I didn't have the picture printed, and we had to go to the metro station to print a picture. But it was like, I think the first contact, I don't know, it was probably like it was I think we do that kind of parties here too. It's like the flag party.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone had to bring their flag, like their country's flag, and that it was like just a normal party, but we
Everyone
brought a flag. But it was my first party on ESN, my first contact, and my first day in Rome. So it was like everything together.
Yeah, so for me, I actually did my ESN card while still in Lisbon because get the Ryanair discount and everything. Don't prepare. I know, I know. Pro tip, do the ESN card on your city because Ryanair discounts, that's always helpful.
Yeah.
We're giving you all the good tips. So, but my first contact was actually at like my university during the welcome day. They had like
Yeah.
PowerPoint presentation, ESN Ghent spoke. And I think we also do that here. We do welcome sessions with some universities in Lisbon. And I think now that I think about it, so I'm in the education department here. So we do the department that organizes those sessions. So maybe that's why I gravitated towards that department because that was my first contact.
That was so cool, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think it's very important that first contact on like in universities because many people don't know SN like
Oh.
from
Yeah, I didn't know ESN before I went to Erasmus.
so it's like but what about like friends? Did you like make a lot of friends because of ASN or did you still have contact with some ESNers from your Erasmus city?
ESNers, I don't think so, but like Erasmus friends that I did, yeah, definitely. And I've met my Erasmus friends in the integration weekend. And yeah, sometimes I still talk to them and it's so cool. Yeah.
I think like in Rome there are a lot of ESNs because of the universities. And one thing that I found that was like really really cool was that like at a certain point of my Erasmus, everyone knew certain ESNers, and that
Yeah.
they still are like not a joke, but it's like oh do you remember this one or that one that did this, and it's like
Like side character.
Yeah.
I don't keep in touch with them, but it's like it's a good memory to think about ESN and the thing that because I started making friends like because of ESN, but then I maintained those relationships outside the ESN. So we started doing things except from the ESN events. But it's really what I keep with a lot of like love and it's because ESN like gave me those moments to
Yeah, and I think it's very nice because like you meet a lot of people on the first few days, and obviously you're more friends with some of them.
yeah.
But then you go to ESN events and you always end up seeing those people from the first few days. So it's like reuniting or like you have acquaintances, even if though you're in a foreign city. So I think ESN is very good
And
at
it's
that.
it and about like the questions I had. Like I didn't know the city, I didn't know where to shop, where to do things. And they were like with the body program, I think it is really helpful to have someone that you can trust, that you can always like send a message like, okay, I don't know this, can you explain to me? And like my contact with ESN as an Erasmus student was really good. And I think that's part of why I wanted to join ESN to give this experience and this security to Erasmus students because it's very
Yeah.
complicated.
Definitely.
Yeah, I didn't join the buddy program from ESN because I joined from my faculty, but that didn't really work out because I never met my buddy. So maybe I should have joined the ESN one. Yeah, sometimes but yeah, that definitely made me want to be part of the buddy program.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great way of getting to know locals. Because sometimes you just end up hanging on with Erasmus people. But
Yeah.
the point is also to meet locals.
Yeah, and I think for me, ESN was a way to adapt to the new routine.
Yeah, definitely.
And I wanted to ask you, what was it like to you, like going to the supermarket, doing simple things that we do here in Lisbon, like ordering in a restaurant and stuff like that. How was it like adapting to a new routine?
I mean, like, I was in Spain, so the language is quite similar. And I had Spanish classes before I went to Madrid. And for me, it was like, like a superpower going to a restaurant and then ordering the food in Spanish and then gracias. And then vale. It was like, okay, I'm local, you know what I mean? But it was like, I mean, everything that I did was like a conquer, you know what I mean? Like, I put the laundry on the machine, like, I'm so grown up. I can read it in Spanish. I can read this things in Spanish. People think I'm local. Oh my god. I'm so proud of myself, like the simple things. I was like, oh my god, I'm a grown up. I'm so proud of myself. Then I was just going to the grocery shop, you know what I mean? So, but it was super cool. I was always proud of myself for doing super, like going, like navigating through the public transportation.
Yeah.
It was amazing. It was like, okay,
I think the moment for me, like the click that I was like, okay, I'm a local, was when I started going like from places to my home without checking the Google Maps.
Definitely, yeah.
Then I was like, that's
Okay,
smart. And
I rule this. I'm like, yeah, there's no way someone is more local than I.
not even people born there, locals. Okay, but Bia, give us your best sentence in Spanish. Now I want to hear it.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know, just
Like, my Spanish isn't that good.
we're gonna
What
judge.
did you like caught? Like an expression or something that you used to say with your friends, like something like
Okay, the basic one, like, vale, vale.
vale, vale.
And I have a fun story. I have one of my best friends is called Madalena Val. And once we're chatting in the group, and I was like, vale, vale in Spanish because it's spelled the same way, like VALE. And she was like, tell me. It was, no, not for you. I was just saying, okay, in Spanish. But any other expressions?
I just want
Gracias, cariño.
You have the accent.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
you know.
Cariño. Sí.
Oh, another thing that made me like feel like a local was like in Rome saying scusa for everything. It's like excuse me and prego.
Yeah.
Prego. I would say like prego all the time. Most of the times I didn't even know why I was saying prego, but I was like, yeah, prego, grazie, prego, prego. Or
I wish like was in Belgium and everything was in Dutch and I knew nothing the whole 6 months. So like the elevator in my residency, it said something like every time you went up and every time you went down. I still don't know what it is. Like I heard that every day, multiple times a day.
yeah,
I still don't.
but things like the warnings on the metro and
Yeah.
that I still say it is like aspetta, like wait.
Yeah.
Someone says to me something that I have to do. I'm like aspetta, aspetta.
Yeah.
But that's stick with me for
Definitely.
until now.
Próxima parada, sol.
Próxima fermata, ready Roma.
Yeah.
Thing is, I feel like in Spain you had to speak Spanish because they didn't understand English. So I think that helped me as well because their English was not that good. So yeah.
And also in your university.
My university, I had one class in English because Carlos III, that was my university.
Yeah, but that was like
In my
great accent. Like
Thank you. I've been working on my Spanish accent.
you know, I stayed at your university's name.
Yeah, but they have like, I feel like they try to have this multicultural approach because they have some classes in English. And I had one class in English that was radio workshop that I absolutely loved. Like my classmates were amazing. They were so cute. And sometimes I still talk to them. They're amazing. And so yeah, they try to have this multicultural approach. And some of them kind of speak good English, but others I don't feel like they speak good English, especially like locals, you know, like
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, for me in my university, I think I already said that, but I don't remember. It's like my classes were all in Italian. So for me, like adapting to a new routine, it was easier going to the grocery shop because I think that the people there made a lot of effort than in my university. It was like all Italian. Like it, I didn't even like feel comfortable to ask a question because I didn't understand a thing. It was like going to a class that you're just like, oh, the teacher today is different. He cut his hair. Like you don't know what he's saying.
How did you survive?
No, because I don't know, but the like the subjects weren't that difficult, and they have like the PowerPoints and stuff and papers and documents were all given to us. So I would just translate and read it in English because my exams were in English.
Oh,
So,
okay.
like it wasn't. I had a class that I asked my teacher to do the exam in English, and then she gave me like the test. And I was like, oh, this is in Italian. And she was like, oh no, but the titles of the books are in English. I was like, the titles are the only thing that I don't need in it. Because I've read it so much in Italian that hello in Italian, like the session is what I need in English. But I don't know, it's made me like I don't know, adapting to things like in a very quick way. And I think it was a way to adapt to a new routine.
Yeah.
It wasn't the easiest one, but it was a way. So
Yeah, but in Spain, like in Madrid, they had like a thing that I think it's super cool for like studying. That is basically like a website called Walla, I guess. And the thing is, you can put your resumes there, and you can make money out of it. Yeah, that's super
want
cool.
that.
Yeah, and you can have either two ways. You can watch like get your resumes with a announcement in the middle, like you have a page with some sort of announcement, or you can pay and you have like the resumes like all clean without the advertisements. Yeah, and I think it's super cool because I feel like that is a helpful way to everyone to learn and everything, and you can also make money out of it. So yeah, it's
the
cool.
best.
Yeah.
Okay, wait, did you guys have to study a lot in your universities or?
Moral of my parents, yes, I studied a lot. I read the rest of the world. No. No.
Are your parents listening to the podcast?
No, I don't think so. My mom doesn't speak very well English, and my dad's okay, so that he doesn't have the patience to read.
Oh, you're
No, but it's like I didn't study a lot, and I think that was like the major difference that I noticed when I came back to Lisbon. Was like, okay, now I actually have to study and not a day before. I have to study a long way before. But it was cool because it gave me like those things about traveling and spending time with my friends, and I had more time to do that. And now here in Lisbon, it was like focus, focus, focus. And talking about trips.
Yeah. The good
Now that I mentioned it, talking about trips, I think in Erasmus, we all think about two things. It's like financial organization and trips. At least it was, for me, it was like the two worlds I had to combine those two worlds.
Not studying.
Not studying, but doing the financial organization. I think we have to choose our battles.
I mean, you're basically studying maths.
Definitely, yeah, that's a good point of view. Yeah.
And for me, I think it was like a great priority to travel with my friends, and I did some trips. But about the financial organization, I'm not so sure that I can give you tips because most of the work were my friends that did. Like we schedule everything with long time before the trip. We used to go like in on bus like to everywhere, like €2, €3. But I think I wanted to do more trips, but it is what it is. And what about you? Did you travel a lot?
I did two trips. I mean, because I was in Spain, so it was quite near from Portugal. So like the countries that I could visit were like France, and I already went to France, so I was not kind of really interested in it. And it's so I had other cities in Spain that I could visit, and I went to Mallorca with my friends, which was super cool. It was super fun, and I also went to Morocco because we found um like a great deal. It was quite cheap, and we went there and we had like this amazing experience. Like we slept on a desert and we rode the camels.
Camels.
Yeah, and it was super fun. And I also I did the plan to went to La Feria in Sevilla, but I couldn't go because I had like a family issue, so I had to come back to Portugal. But I feel like if you are planning to do your Erasmus in Spain, you should go to La Feria because I think it's amazing. It's super beautiful. But yeah, I feel like I would travel more if if I did my Erasmus again. But you know, it is what it is, and I feel like Madrid is an amazing city, and I definitely took the most out of it because it was
I know
amazing.
a girl that's doing Erasmus in Sevilla this semester, and she went to a thing that I loved. It's probably like our ENM in Algarve, but it's like the ESN trip to Ibiza, something like that.
Yeah.
And she posted like a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, and I was like, that sounds like very cool. Like you go to like the center of the park that's in Ibiza, and yeah. But for me, I only did one trip with the ESN. It was to Napoli. Yeah, but like my favorites were, of course, Costa Amalfitana.
Of course. Yeah, it's so beautiful.
Palermo. I really loved Palermo, and probably Florence.
Love
Yeah.
Florence.
Yeah.
But I did so I was in Ghent, so I did Amsterdam, obviously. It's very fun, obviously, too. And then I did like Normandy, so Mont Saint Michel, and that was actually like a road trip. We rented a car. I mean, not we because I don't drive, so definitely not me.
That's cool.
Yeah, and it was like my first time renting a car, and it was like in a foreign country. So I was like, okay, let's
do it. Yeah.
go. But it was actually like way cheaper than I thought. Like speaking of financial
Yeah.
planning, like I thought, oh my god, this is gonna be so expensive. But I think like if you plan in advance and if you look for the best deals, you actually can do a lot of trips. Like
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, like about that, I really have to thank one of my friends that did Erasmus with me because she was like a person that would like persist, like she would insist very, very much on like seeing the Airbnbs or hostels like really way before like the date that we plan to go on a trip. And I think that it's the major like the biggest advice that I can give is that to plan everything way before like the date because it's really helpful because the things are going to be much more cheaper.
Yeah.
And then and another advice is that like food it's not essential.
Of course.
Food is not essential. You can just eat a sandwich and it's fine. You can survive. The next days you're going to maintain yourself with another things.
Okay.
So
Another tip is the ESN card, of course, because my trip to Morocco, I did like the discount, and besides the ticket got cheaper, we could take also like the big bag to put in the plane, so it was super cool. So yeah, definitely because it also gets discounts besides like Ryanair, it gets other.
but Flix, I always use that because I don't know about you guys, but I did a lot of day trips.
yeah.
But I think everyone does a lot
Yeah.
of day trips, and Flixbus and the discount is very helpful.
Yeah.
for that.
Yeah, definitely.
And yeah, I think about trips, it's like, I don't know, being organized about your days, weeks, and weekends. And I think everything is going to be. And yeah, of course, depending on the budget, perhaps I could stay at a hostel and one of my fellow Erasmus colleagues were like in a hotel, 5-star hotel, and I couldn't. But it was like you have to adapt and think like, okay, if I want to explore the city and the country that I'm in, I have to.
I wish I made friends who stayed in 5
No, I didn't. So I don't know why.
Can I? Can they pay me, please?
Yeah.
I'm very nice.
And now another thing that I always talked about with my Erasmus friends was the saudades. And for our international students that are listening, saudades, it's a Portuguese word that refers to missing someone or something or a moment, and it's like with a bit of nostalgia in the middle. And I wanted to know where was the point where you started to feel saudades, and when did you stop feeling saudades? Was there a moment like that?
For me, actually, you know that my favorite word in Portuguese is saudades. Yeah, fun fact.
It's a very beautiful word.
Yeah.
Great word.
But for me, I feel like the process was a little bit different because I feel like people arrive to the city and they start like immediately feeling nostalgic and feeling saudades.
Yeah.
And for me, it was not like that. It was like I was so in love with Madrid and with the experience in itself that I didn't feel saudades per se. I was so happy. But then I feel like the first time that I actually miss my home, and it's quite funny, was when my best friends came to visit me because they were there and I was like, oh my God, I've missed those girls so much. And I didn't even notice because I was so distracted, per se, with my new life and this experience. But then they got there and they start talking about the people that were back home and like all the gossips and everything. And I was like, okay, so their life kept going, you know what I mean? And their life was happening, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And I was like, I'm missing it. Of course, I was super happy for missing it because I was having my own experience. But, you know, I felt super nostalgic. And when they got away, when they got back, it was really sad
Yeah.
for me. And also when my boyfriend came to visit me, I was like, okay, I missed it. Like, I missed my people. And I didn't notice before they went there, which is kind of strange, I
Yeah,
guess.
I think when I arrived in Rome, I was really, really overwhelmed. I had so many things to do. I had so many parties, so many chill out, so many things, and I was like, okay, I don't have time to miss something.
Yeah.
But I think a strange thing that happened to me was that I think I felt saudades anticipated. Like I felt anticipated saudades. I was here. I didn't even go to Rome, and I was already missing something that I didn't like live. I don't know if this makes sense, but I was like,
Yeah.
I was here in Lisbon preparing myself to go to Erasmus, and I was sad because I was going to miss birthdays. I was going to miss a lot of moments with my friends and my family. And I was like, okay, I feel saudades already. But then when I arrived there, I didn't have time to feel saudades. I was like, okay, quickly, everything moves around. I meet new people, meet new friends, go to parties, go to the beach, go to travel, etc., etc. And I think the moment when I felt like saudades for the first time, when I started missing my home, was when my friends started to call me and tell me the news about what was going on here in Portugal. I was like, okay, I'm actually missing something. Like, I'm not the only one living. The life here still goes on, and I'm not there to like be a part of it. I know from people telling me, and that was the first time that I was like, okay, I'm missing something. But I think this experience is going to make everything like go away.
Right.
And the second time, I think I already said that in the podcast, was on my birthday. I cried all day. I was like, I miss my home, but at the same time, I was loving to receive all the love that they were giving me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I didn't feel many saudades, but it was always like in me feeling nostalgic.
I think I totally agree with you. I had it before going there.
Yeah.
So I remember like from my college friend group, like a lot of us were going on Erasmus. So at the end of the first semester, we did like kind of a goodbye, like this is our last day. And of course we saw each other after that, but it was kind of like symbolic. And I remember like going home after that and just being like so sad and like already missing them. And
Yeah.
why am I doing this? What if I stayed? Like maybe we could, if everyone stayed, we could do so many things, and I'm going away and I'm gonna miss everyone. And then I was there and I was like, okay, this is fun. Yeah, I'm happy here.
Yeah, and I think like missing my home and my family and my friends gave me like another perspective because I was away so many months. Like gave me another perspective that I wanted to come back and really enjoy the time that I have with them. And my summer, like my the month of August last year, was really special because I felt like I was really present in the things that I was doing here because I was like, okay, I missed so much and there was so many things that were done without me that now I want to like really live this. And I think like saudades in that specific time that gave me like the need to be present.
Yeah, because that's the other thing that we were talking about. Like, people's life back home, they keep going. And there is also, for, at least for me, this feeling of guilt
Yeah.
that you feel like you're having so much fun, you're meeting new people, you're in a new city, living probably the best experience of your life. But back home, your family is dealing with the problems that they always had. The difference is that you are not there for helping them. And sometimes sometimes I got this feeling, I'm feeling a little bit guilty, like maybe I'm a bit not selfish because I mean, this is my only chance to live this experience per se,
Okay.
but it's kind of bittersweet,
But at the same time, what I felt was like I I I felt that I was leaving so much more than the people that stayed here. Not like in a negative way, but it was like when I came back, of course, things were a little bit different. But in the general perspective, they were all the same. And I felt that my life like moved so fast and I met so many people, new perspectives, new cultures, etc. That I was like, okay, they still lived without me, but at the same time it's the same. Like I feel everything is the same, and it's like I don't know, a
Yeah.
feeling.
And they don't change as much as you. It's kind of weird because then you come back and you have different
it's so
cultures, you have
bittersweet.
different like way of seeing life.
Yeah.
And then there's still, it's not that they're the same people, of course.
Yeah.
It's not a change as great.
Yeah, and they didn't have like the circumstance that we had and the environment that we were in to improve certain things about ourselves and personal things. And I think that's, I don't know, coming back, that was the thing that I noticed
Yeah.
much. It was like
Definitely.
the difference.
Yeah, and I think that's the reason why like so many people, and we are an example of that, join ESN after coming back from Erasmus, because those everyone who's here had this experience and kind of understands it
Yeah, I think
and the lifestyle.
Yeah, I think me coming to the ESN was, of course, to give the same and the better experience that I had, but was like a way of grief
Yeah,
from my Erasmus.
definitely.
Was like I want to grieve to be on the other side. I want to be on the other side and at the same time grieve my Erasmus and give the other people and the other Erasmus students the same experience. Yeah.
Definitely.
And I think it's with saudades, a really beautiful word, that we end this episode. Thank you so much for listening. If you haven't listened to the second episode that is already out, see you next time, right?
Next month.
Next month.
It's gonna be summer, but we're still gonna be here.
Yeah,
Definitely.
probably more tan.
It's
But
I don't know, I don't get very tan.
yeah, see you next month.
Bye.
Yeah.